Time for your weekly dose of pop culture
with Cassie and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey, welcome.
I was waiting for the whole. Yeah, I was waiting for the whole. And now it's time for Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture.
It did. That played. I played it.
It played? Okay, I missed it.
It's Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture
with Cassie and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Is that better? Woo! Does that give you all the feels?
That give you all the feels now. I got all the feels now.
All the feels.
How you doing today? How you doing this week?
I am good. Welcome, pop culture kids. It's Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. Saturday nights we come together. We get on the interwebs and talk all things pop culture, usually with a different topic or subject in mind. And last week you said when we finished up, like after we do the show and we were doing our like kind of post kind of wrap up kind of summary thing, you said Sunday you were going to see Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that next week let's talk superhero movies. So last night I was like, you know what, we're talking superhero movies, I need to do my research. So guess what I did last night?
What'd you do last night?
I went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And what is it? Quantum Mania?
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania.
Quantum Mania, which is kind of cool because the two word, like the word ant and man is within the word Quantum Mania. So they kind of, anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. And in the credits part, how are you this week?
I am good this week. You know me, I'm staying busy, running around all the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
did you get to see our parents when they were up there?
Yes, I did. I saw them Wednesday. Thursday I had to host an open mic, so I didn't see them Thursday. I was over there Wednesday.
Oh, they just got back in this afternoon.
Yeah. So I hung out with them for a while. And fun times. They didn't get to see. I don't think they got to see any of the kids, but they were here so short. Like they were in and out.
Yeah.
But in any event, Other than that, the week is going good. George and I went to go see the Ant-Man movie on Sunday morning because we always go Sunday morning because number one, it's not really that crowded, and number two, the tickets are cheaper.
Okay. Now, when you say cheaper, what are we talking? Because that is what kind of took me aback when I went to go to the theater yesterday.
Well, we spent like I think the ticket was like $8.50, $8.90 something. It was $8 something. Altogether, like $9 for the tickets with the tax and everything. It's like $9 something a piece for the tickets. So for like $22, we went to see Ant-Man.
Well, you know what? I actually had, if I could tell a quick story.
Tell a quick story.
Okay, we'll do a quick story. But usually, I've always been, and this is probably why we do a show about pop culture. I like pop culture things. One of my favorite things has always been kind of like the Oscars. So at not this school, but probably 3 schools back, when I worked at Troutman Middle, I would do a Oscar poll. And again, we're in school. We're not betting any money. We're not doing any kind of gambling or anything. But I would just invite the teachers to do an Oscar poll where they take their guesses at who they think they're going to win in the major categories. And what I would always do is buy a couple of movie tickets because you can go to like a BJ's or a Sam's and get those movie tickets and you can get them at a discount. And that way, the winner, whoever gets the most correct would win. Well, when I would buy these pack of movie tickets and give them out, I actually had an old one left over for movietickets.com. So actually I got to see Ant-Man and the Wasp for a mere $3 because the $16 ticket, I actually wound up having this old gift card left over from when I gave them out or gave them away as a pool. And actually there was one teacher Her name was Amber Reef. She would always win, and I don't know how she picked them, but she picked them.
Maybe she
We
is
should,
psychic.
yeah, we. You know what? We should do.
Maybe she had Professor X like powers.
You know, we should do an Oscar poll, like because the last way I did the poll, I would set it up like a Google Doc and put in limitations so you could only answer one time. You could only make one pick, and then you know, I would make it so that it was shut off so that you couldn't answer anymore or pick
What are the
anymore
Oscars?
after the Oscars. I don't know. We if we're doing a podcast show on pop culture, we probably should know that.
We
That
probably
should
should
be in
know
the
when the
book.
Oscars are. We don't know when the
We
Oscars are.
really should know. I
We really
believe
should
it's
know.
April. I want to say April, but I don't know for sure. Ed is not in the comments to fact check us, so that's probably what I would need.
Well, Scooby Life is. Hey, Scooby Life, how you
Scooby
doing?
Life is. Hey, Scooby Life. Love to see
You know,
you here.
we should have told we should have asked Hey Archer to be a guest.
Oh,
Is what we should have
yeah.
done. In
We should
retrospect,
have.
we're thinking about it.
We should have asked
Yeah,
him to
we
come
thinking
on.
about it. Maybe we'll get him next week.
Because and I would have even mentioned that because I stopped by his Thursday streams, and I know last Thursday it was like a lot of WrestleMania, and that's again not my nerd forte. Although I do the nerdy, and I can do the nerdy with the best of them, but I'm not WrestleMania was or is not my wheelhouse. So I wasn't even going to
Yeah.
step
Well,
in that. I
speaking of
couldn't even I couldn't even comment in the comments. That's how little I
yeah.
know. But he
Well,
would have
speaking
been
of
a good
WrestleMania,
person.
one of the shows I watch now is Young Rock, and it gives you kind of like a behind the scenes of WrestleMania, come from his perspective. But you know, you realize that all these guys were acting, and they're all friends, and they don't really hate each other, and it's all like, you know, the way it
It,
is. But
there's a bit of performance to it. Hey,
yeah,
I'm going to be on a stream tomorrow. I know I told you last week that it was going to be Sunday night, but actually, I'm going to be on because as it turned out, last Sunday wasn't a good fit with my schedule with a bunch of stuff I was doing, and it wasn't a good fit for India, whose stream I'm going to be on tomorrow night. But India Delgado, and if she has posted a link, I'll try to put it in the comments.
yeah. Try to put the link in the
Um,
comments if she's supposed to link, or either send me the link so I can listen to it. Because I think for once I have a day that's totally open.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't
Sunday's
think
my
she's
day.
put a link up for it yet,
Yeah.
but I will put a link to her channel in the comments, and if the pop culture kids who are about can check that out tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we're scheduled to be on. I believe her show starts at 7, or maybe it's 8. I don't know. It's
Okay.
Sunday night sometime,
Oh,
so we'll be doing that tomorrow night. So check it out,
yeah.
and
So
it's her ladies night stream, and I mean she's had some pretty influential ladies on there talking about their businesses and their careers. I'll be talking about kind of what we do Saturday nights, but basically just coming from the viewpoint of the folks who hang out in the comments, because I do hang out in the comments of her stream. So that is that. So anyway, let's get on with
let's get
let's
on with
get
let's
on
get
with the
on.
get on.
Well, what did you think of Ant-Man and Quantumania?
Okay, now I thought it was okay. If I had to give it a rating on a scale, I I probably am leaning towards a 7, maybe
Okay.
a
Okay.
6.5.
You know what?
Um, I I really Jonathan Majors, just shout out Jonathan Majors because
Yes.
I think he's gonna be because when I walked out, and no sooner than I walk out of the theater, I bump into him again in this big life-size Creed poster because it looks like he's in the next Creed movie.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, he's a force, and we'll hear more from him, and even the tag at the end of the movie. And I'm not giving away any secrets, any spoilers, that they do proclaim his return. So suffice to say, if you stay till the end credits, know that you're going to get your two, at least two bumpers Um, and it's so funny because I'm in the theater texting you going, is so and so so and that is he in that one? Anyway. Um,
You're not
but
supposed to
I
text me
say
in the
I say
theater,
it's
man.
7.5. Here's why. You had some again some good strong performances, but oh god, just so predictable and not that a superhero movie isn't going to be predictable, but I don't know how compelled I was with these characters. And listen, I love me some Paul Rudd, I do. Um, but even for his character, um, I I don't know how drawn into that story I am. I liked the quantum realm and the things that we were exposed to there. And shout out to can I say his name or is that giving away a spoiler?
Who?
The actor who had a cameo?
Yeah, no, everybody knows he's in it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, shout out to Bill Murray because I mean there was only about 6 people in the theater when I saw it, but I was like I was clapping when he came in. I just like seeing him. Whether it's Zombieland, the Quantum Realm, just seeing Bill Murray pop up just in weird places, I think is always special movie moments. So I did enjoy that.
As
Um,
as a comic book fan,
mhm.
as a fan who read all the books, I give this movie a 1.
Ouch.
Like, no,
That's
I'm joking.
harsh.
I am joking. I give this movie a strong 8, and I'm leaning towards 8.5.
Oh, that's way better than me because I didn't think
Yes,
the
I'm
story.
leaning towards, and let
And
me explain to you why.
hopefully, the comic book stories I'm hoping are stronger than the movie story
Well,
we
yeah,
got
well,
because I was a little
the comic book stories are stronger because they build up after a time. And in
okay.
comic books, you have more room to develop a character. In this movie, you had 2 hours to get everything done.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
maybe two
why
and a half
why do
hours to
you
get
give
everything
this
done.
movie an 8?
Okay,
I
I
need
give
to
this
hear
movie an
this.
8.5 because, and as we're going to see later on too, and as we know from the past, Marvel has right now. Marvel is on phase 5, and Marvel goes through these different phases. And with these phases, it builds up. So I know that this movie it was a good action movie for me. There's a lot of things I loved in it, but I know for a fact it was a setup. This movie is a setup. Right
See,
now,
that's probably why I lowered
yeah,
my
no, this movie is a setup, and I like setup movies because, you know, by the end of the setup, there's going to be a payoff.
Mhm.
There's going to be a payoff, and this movie definitely set up for a payoff. Um, you know, it was just like Wakanda Forever. It was part of Phase 4, I believe, but it was also part of Phase 5 because that's another setup.
But even in
Phase 6, because Phase 4 was basically this is what happened during the blip. This is the consequences of this is the consequence. Phase 4 is the consequences of the blip. Phase 4 is consequences of Endgame and everything else. Now we're looking at the phase 5 where there are some consequences from the blip and from Endgame, but we're also setting up for the next big bad, which is Kang.
Kang.
So
Okay, right.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's not a
Kang kind of
giveaway. Everybody
replaced
knows
Thanos, or I'm getting a feedback. Is that
Kang.
coming from you?
I don't know. But Kang is. You might hear barking from the
No.
dog.
How are you hearing? No. I'm hearing a feedback of my own voice.
No, I'm not getting feedback.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Kang is the next Thanos, but in reality, Kang is probably more powerful than Thanos.
Okay.
Totally more powerful than Thanos.
Well, he has that
So
power to. He has the power to shift through time zones,
yeah, he has the
or
power through time.
because I
He
was
has the power of time.
I was expecting to see, or not see, but I I was just wondering whether, like Doctor Strange, whether that whole idea of different universes was going to play a part in this, because of I didn't know
Oh
whether
yeah,
that's how
I think
Kang's of powers, manifested,
yeah,
whether he could
different. Okay,
cross through different
he-
universes and
okay.
things.
In order to watch Ant Man and the Wasp, there's not
Mhm.
really a prerequisite, but I highly recommend you watch season one of Loki.
Okay. See, I haven't seen
Season one
season
of
one of
Loki.
Loki.
Season one of Loki explains the timelines and how there
Okay.
are different timelines and how different timelines create different versions of yourself. So in Ant Man, at one point, we see different versions of Paul Rudd, Ant Man, Scott Lang. At one point, I'm not giving anything away. At one point, we see different versions of him because Kang is messing with time, and
Mhm.
and time really can be a very powerful weapon because as we saw in Endgame, they had to use time travel in order to stop Thanos.
Right.
So this, I gave this an 8 because I thought this movie was a perfect setup. It had an amount of action and it had an amount of comedy, and you know what?
I
It's
did I did enjoy the comedy.
yeah, it's. I'm gonna tell you one reason. It started off as a 6 from the door
Michelle Pfeiffer
because of
in the
Michelle
opening
Pfeiffer.
scene.
Star of Grease 2, Michelle Pfeiffer. I have been in love with Michelle Pfeiffer since Hollywood Nights. Okay,
Oh
so
Lord.
Hollywood Nights, Grease 2, Michelle Pfeiffer she's the one. Like anything Michelle Pfeiffer automatically starts at a high mark for me. But given it everything else, you got Michael Douglas, you got Bill Murray, you got Paul Rudd, the whole ensemble that you have there is great. You have the comedy with the quantum mania beings. I'm not even going to say aliens. They're
Yeah,
beings from
the
another.
beings
Yeah, the
from that
quantum mania
dimension.
beings. And you saw how different they perceive humans and how we perceive them. And that guy looks like broccoli, but it's you know I do I'm even going to excuse there's certain things in the plot that made things easier that weren't even explained. Like, they know for a fact if you drink this syrupy juice or whatever, it tastes nasty.
Well, it was the fluid of the other. If you drank the fluid of other beings, you could understand them and they could understand you. That concept, I almost kind of like that. I was like, wow. So, you know, I don't need to take, Spanish lessons. I just need to drink the blood of somebody Spanish or something. No, um, and the guy with the holes.
No.
How many holes do you
Yeah,
have? The other guy
yeah.
goes 6.
I don't have any
And
holes. I
and then
got holes.
yeah, so
I got holes.
um, there was a lot of good humor to the movie, especially with the beings of the quantum realm, of that realm. And also too, I think you didn't need to, like you're saying, hey, season 1 of Loki would have helped you understand or follow or understand um like the multiverse aspects of the movie.
Not
But
yet. Yeah.
even I don't even think you needed to see um Ant-Man, the first 2 Ant movies, to be able to follow in with the story. I think they gave you enough of the backstory.
Yeah, they gave you enough
Um,
of the backstory. I mean,
they
see the
gave you
other
enough
two
of the
Ant
I mean,
Mans.
if you really wanted to delve into it, and even, in the, I guess, opening kinda credits, they also filled you in on the backstory to the point where, okay, it caught you up pretty quickly. The only thing I I struggled with a little bit, because I guess they didn't show Scott Lang's daughter. The daughter had a different mother. I mean, right? Her mother wasn't in this movie, because I know she
No, the
was in.
mother was in this movie.
Okay.
The mother and the stepfather wasn't in this movie. There's a lot of people who were not in this movie. Like number one, the one
But I
thing
guess I was
that
struggling a little bit with because even though she called Hope, but yet Hope's parents, she was treating more like grandparents. I don't know. It was just a weird kind of
well, because they became like
dynamic
family.
that wasn't really fleshed out in my opinion, but that's
Yeah,
just me.
well, they became like family.
I
And
get it.
one of the things that were missing from this movie for me, and I understand they probably didn't have time to fit it in. One of the things
Mhm.
missing from this movie for me was Michael Pena.
Oh yeah, I love Michael Pena.
Michael Pena was missing, and
Is that how you say
Michael
his name?
Pena,
Isn't it
being missing.
Pena?
Yeah, huh?
Isn't it pronounced Pena?
Pena, is it Pena? Or Pena, Pena. Michael was
It's
missing. Mike wasn't there. Okay,
where's Michael?
where's Michael? Michael wasn't there. And
Who's
Michael and Ti and that whole you know that whole crew, they weren't there for this one. Hopefully we see them again in this universe, but because
Mhm.
that's a funny group, especially with Michael Pena. Judy Greer played the mother, Maggie, and she was missing out of this whole thing, and they didn't show up because basically you had to
Judy
get down to the
Greer is
Quantumania.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you had to
I
get
just
down to the
Judy Greer
Quantumania.
fan.
You had to get the story rolling, and the only way you could do that is to have them eat dinner, have them talk about it, have do certain things. You find out that Cassie is an activist and she wants to be a hero. She wants to stand up for people and she wants to do the right thing at all times. She wants to do the right thing on Earth. She wants to do the right thing in the quantum mania, in the quantum realm, rather. She's already made herself a hero. And this also leads into another plot point that I think is probably going to, we probably won't see the phase 6 or maybe phase 7, but I'm waiting to see some of the other movies that come out.
Can
When the
and
Captain America movie comes out, the new Captain America, New World Order comes out. I'm waiting to see what they do with Isaiah Bradley's grandson, because um, if you watch the Hawkeye series, his mentee, the young Hawkeye, and Cassie, Scott Lang's daughter, and Isaiah Bradley's grandson, who was the first black Captain America that got arrested and you never really saw be Captain America. Um, they form a team with some other young heroes called the Young Avengers. And I think this is setting that up
okay.
around a lot of different things. So, I think, a lot of people are waiting for that setup. And like I said, this movie is a total setup. It's, a lot of people didn't understand. You can't just delve right into it. You got, just like you build Thanos up as a main villain throughout the Marvel Universe, you have to build Kang up. They're going about it a different way in building Kang up because you got Kang coming out strong from the door. But eventually, everything's going to lead up to Kang. Now, you have in phase 5, there's a couple of things getting done in phase 5. As far as movies go, you have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which at some point I have to imagine is going to, dip back into Kang in some type of way. But this is supposed to be the last Guardians movie anyway, period.
Are we sure? Because I know they showed a preview while I was in the theater,
Yes.
and I'm just curious because a character I thought had died in a previous um, movie, and I don't think it was the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It might have been in game. I'm not sure. I saw that character on the preview for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I was just
That's
hey,
just
here's my question because
time travel.
okay, time, of course. There's always got to be some time travel. Well,
I think I know who you're talking about. And that's time travel.
okay. And here I have a question, and not for this episode because we don't have time to go in and break them all down. But can we work on the Marvel phases? Because you're saying that this movie is a part of Phase 5,
Yes.
correct? And
Yes.
Phase 5, it sounds like, with this movie and some of the other ones we're going to talk about in series that are coming up, are all a part of that Phase 5. You say it's setting up for what's to come, maybe with Phase 6, Phase 6. But now in my mind, I'm going, well, wait, when was Phase 1? Did I miss it? What movies are part of Phase 2? So, can you just
There's
put a
something
pin
pretty.
in that we need to come back and do a phase by phase,
Yes. Yes. There's
just
a
kind of
phase by
phase by
phase.
phase recap of the Marvel universe? And if you can write out the phases for me, just so I can get a card up that says, okay, phase 1, and it includes these movies. Because I'm like, does that mean like are the X-Men movies a part of phase 1, or is it
No,
phases
those
by
X-Men movies.
timeline, or phases by,
Yeah, those
it?
X-Men movies from phase. Those X-Men movies from Fox do not count as any part of
Okay,
phases.
so we're not counting Fox X-Men movies,
No, we're not
and
counting the Fox X-Men movies.
and again, what Fantastic Four do we count? Is that a part of the
We're not
phase?
counting those
Are we
either.
just starting with
But
Iron Man, or is
a
it just
new,
with
a
Captain
new,
America?
a
Like,
new
is it
Fantastic Four. I believe in Phase 6, a new Fantastic Four will be presented.
okay?
Okay,
Hey, Steve is in
Steve's in
the
the
house.
house. Scooby Life's in the
Steve.
house. I think Ed's going to
Uh,
be coming in the house pretty soon too.
Okay,
Um,
cool deal. Because
so let me run this by you. Let me run this by you.
okay,
As far as movie, we got Ant-Man, and then next we
okay,
have Guardians of the Galaxy.
and
And
then
as far
what?
as movies go,
Actually, is Guardians of the Galaxy coming out before the summer?
yes, that's coming
I
out in
know I
May.
did see a preview.
That's
See,
coming out
and
in May.
like this was a poster I found online for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and
Yes,
Gamora is in there. And
yes,
I mean, did I miss something? Because
yes,
I thought she died
yes,
in Endgame, and that was like,
yes. No, no, no.
uh,
Mm-mm. She died in
well, not Endgame. She died before. Oh wait, what movie
no,
did she
she did
die
not
in?
Endgame. Okay. She was the one before Endgame was oh man, it's on the tip of my
Infinity
tongue.
War.
Huh?
Infinity War.
Yes. She died in Infinity War.
Okay,
She
because
died in
that
Infinity, but in Infinity War, in Endgame, they did time travel.
right.
They had to go back in time to get the
Hmm.
different stones all in
Okay.
one place. At one time, when they went to go back in time to get the different stones, Gamora came to the future with them.
Okay.
So that Gamora in the past is now in the present.
All right.
Because the Thanos that they fought in Endgame was a Thanos from the past.
Okay.
Because at the beginning of Endgame, they killed him. And he found out what had happened to his future self. So he came to the future because he knew all the stones were going to be there in the gauntlet. So Thanos
Oh,
came to get the whole thing.
gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
Gamora came with him. And Gamora, fought against Gamora and her sister, fought against the other sister from the present, killed her, and it's a whole big thing. But you have to
Right.
watch Endgame because Gamora did come back. But at the
You,
end of Endgame, Gamora left and went off on her own, and she didn't want to be with the Guardians.
you know
And
what?
she
And
was
I had Disney Plus, and I did something, and I can't remember the password to get back in. So I know on Disney Plus, because they have the movies by timeline, and that's the way I've watched some of them. And they've even put some of the series on there as well. And so now I'd have to go back and watch like Infinity War and Endgame again to kind of, because I remember what you're talking about, but it gets confusing for someone who hasn't read the source material, which again is the comic books. But
all right. Let me
anyway,
let me
Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's going to be out before the summer, right?
Guardians of the
Because
Galaxy is going to come out in May the 5th of this year,
okay, all right.
2023.
So that's
Okay,
before
now,
Memorial Day. I'm
yeah,
surprised that
yeah.
they're releasing it that early.
So
Um,
in November,
uh-huh.
we get not Captain Marvel 2, but we get a movie called The Marvels, which is
Okay.
Captain Marvel, Photon from the Scarlet Witch series, and Miss Marvel from the miniseries Miss Marvel. Photon is
Oh,
the lady
Marvel Zombies.
who
Sorry, I had
was
the wrong picture.
Photon was the lady, yeah, and Captain Marvel, she was a little girl, and she was the one. If you saw Vision Scarlet Witch, she blipped out. She came back 5 years later,
Oh,
and her mother, who was Captain Marvel's best friend in the first one, had died when she came back.
Okay.
So Photon got powers. She's Photon, so that's going to be the Marvels, those three. And then the
Okay.
next movie after that, is going to be bear with me 1 minute. TV show Captain America: New World Order, which is coming out May 3rd of next year.
Oh, that's next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
Captain America: New World Order is coming in now. Now, here's the thing they're doing here. They're doing something kind of before the Marvel Universe. There was an Ed Norton Thor. I mean Ed Norton, not Thor. Ed Norton Hulk movie.
Right.
And they're taking the villain from that. They're making now when we came in to get our new Hulk character, the Ed Norton Hulk is part of MCU canon.
Okay.
Okay, and we just got a new actor to be Banner. What's his name?
Mark
Mark
Garofalo.
Ruffalo. Ruffalo, yeah. So, that being said, in that Ed Norton movie, there was a character at the end that was starting to get developed because he got exposed to gamma radiation. He's called the Leader. So that
Mhm.
character, that actor, is coming back for Captain America: New World Order next
Oh,
year, and he's going to be the main villain. And there's going to be some other people coming in here. And
now,
one of the
Captain
characters,
America: New World Order is going to be a movie,
yeah, it's going
not
to
a
be a movie. So
series.
right
Okay.
now, I'm not skipping all TV shows. I'm just telling you
Okay.
movies.
Just the
And
movie.
so Captain America: New World Order is going to have. If you've seen the Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Hmm.
there was revealed that there was a platoon of black men who got a version of the super serum that made Captain America, and they all died except for one guy, and that guy's Isaiah Bradley. And something happened where they had to put him on lockdown. They had him arrested for years, and they kept him incarcerated. He had the power of Captain America.
Hmm.
He still does, and he aged kind of slowly, but he has a grandson. And those two characters are going to be in New World Order. And the hope from everyone else is that this character comes out and the grandson becomes the Patriot, which is a character in the comic books. And we're keeping up fingers crossed with that. The next movie is going to be the Thunderbolts movie. It's going to come out in July of 2024. And as you see, Bucky, Winter Soldier's in there. The new Black Widow's there. If you saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, the U.S. agent is there. He was Captain America, but he got demoted. For the second Ant-Man, the character is Ghost, the lady in the hoodie. Julie Louise-Dreyfus is always in there. She's probably the leader. The three characters from the last Black Widow movie are in there. And that's going to be the Thunderbolts. They're just like they're the rogues. They're like the villains, and they do the dirty work. Is what the whole concept that is.
Is that like
Um,
the Marvel version of Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And then we have Blade coming in
Everything old is
September
new
of
again.
yeah. Then we have Blade coming in 2024, and then we
Now,
have
is Wesley Snipes gonna be in this Blade? Because I
no,
was trying
No,
I was
Wesley
trying to
Snipes.
pull a picture, and the only picture I could find was Wesley Snipes in Blade.
No.
And
The gentleman in Blade is going to be oh man, what is his name? Michonne. Hey Ed.
you're calling
Michonne.
out the Ed like he's in the next room. Oh,
What is the gentleman's name?
uh, but so I guess
Anyway, he's going to be Blade. I gotta get his
Wesley
name.
Snipes is too old to be Blade, so a new Blade
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
town.
So they get a new Blade. Yeah, Mashallah Ali. Thank you, Ed.
Oh, Mashallah. Oh, see, Ed knows. Oh, that's the guy
He's
he
going to
was.
be. I
Okay, he
couldn't
was
get his
in
name right.
Moonlight. Yeah.
I couldn't get.
Huh?
He's going to be Blade.
Okay, he's a good actor.
And yeah, and then after that we have the Deadpool
He's
3.
amazing.
The
And then
Deadpool
I'm
3,
sorry, what's
which
after that?
Deadpool 3 is after that.
Oh, I
Deadpool
love Deadpool.
3, Deadpool 3, which is coming out in November 24. Now here's the thing.
Wait, November of 24?
Yes. Now
That's
here's
like
the thing.
that's like almost 2 years away. Like,
I don't
wow.
understand what your point is.
Like, that's so
Would you-
long to wait for a movie? Like
You
November
gotta
24?
There's a reason everything is the way it is.
Okay.
All right. Now, wait a minute.
That's a long, but by that time the theater tickets will be a good $24.
Yeah.
That's
But
my
see, here's the
prediction for
thing.
2024.
There's some speculation, and I was reading some articles that adamantium was going to be introduced in Captain America: New World Order.
Wait,
Now,
what's that?
adamantium, huh?
Okay. And why is that important?
Adamantium. You gotta let me finish. Stop talking over me. Adamantium
You know what? I'm
is a metal. Adamantium is a metal that comic book people know, and anybody who saw the X-Men movies know. Adamantium is the metal that is infused in Wolverine's body. It's one of the toughest metals. It ranks up there with vibranium. Matter of fact, Captain America's shield originally is supposed to be made of a combination of adamantium and vibranium. And the big comic book thing is, if Wolverine's claws hit Captain America's shield, what would happen? And they kind of like block each other without breaking. So that's a thing. But in any event, adamantium might be introduced in Captain America: New World Order, which would come to Deadpool 3, where we are told Wolverine is going to be present. Now, also, in New World Order, there's
whoa. All right. You just said Wolverine's going to be in here.
Wait a minute, slow down. In
Because
the
I saw
movie,
Logan.
yeah, no, in a series of last year of Miss Marvel,
Okay.
it was revealed that Miss Marvel was a mutant.
Right. Okay.
So that was starting to introduce mutants into the Marvel Universe. Also, in Captain America: New World Order, another hero from Egypt called Sabre, Saber, is supposed to be showing up in that movie, and she's supposed to be a mutant.
Saber that was a mutant.
No, not shown yet. No.
Okay.
But
Okay.
she's supposed to be a mutant, and she might show up in that movie. So she slowly was starting to introduce mutants, and so by the time Wolverine comes in Deadpool 3, and that's going to round out. That's one of the things that. Oh, and then after that, the next movie is going to be Armor Wars, and Armor Wars is going to round out Phase 5.
Now that brings back
Armor
the
Wars
guy.
is pretty much. Yes, that brings back Rhodey.
Rhodey. Yay!
That brings back Rhodey, Tony Stark's buddy, and the original Armor Wars in the comic books was Tony Stark. A lot of people stealing his tech to make armors and weapons. But a lot of people stealing Iron Man tech to make weapons and make armor and do bad things. And original Armor Wars in the comic books was Tony Stark going around and just stomping on all these people and getting all his tech back. But now Tony Stark's dead. So Rhodey,
is Tony Stark dead in the comics, or was that just
no, that's
okay.
just in the MCU. But now Tony Stark is dead, and Rhodey is going around in Armor Wars, and he's going to be collecting all the stolen tech from Iron Man.
Speaking of
and
tech,
incidentally,
okay, go ahead.
Incidentally, Tony Stark has died a couple of times in the comic books.
Who? Tony Stark has died
Tony
a couple
Stark
times.
has died a few times, but in comic books, there's no such thing as death. They all come back.
They all come back. But no, Steve was saying, I'd like to see Space Giants movie, especially with today's tech. And Ed is agreeing with Glam, Silvar, Goldar,
And Methuselah.
and
Rodak.
Methuselah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With so that's a remake that who knows, maybe that will come back. I was looking at all the I found my printout for the Marvels. When you were talking about the Marvels, how about the movie coming out, Lionheart, that you mentioned? Is this movie or is this TV series? How does this fit?
It's Ironheart. It's
Ironheart, rather, not Lionheart.
Ironheart is going to be okay.
Lionheart. I'm doing a
Now
different movie altogether.
Yeah, now we're getting into the TV series. Now I'm going to go through this real quick.
Okay.
What If is an animated TV series, and that's what happens on other universes and other multiverses in other worlds. So What If is like, what if, one of the most popular ones, I got to get this action figure. What if T'Challa became Star-Lord? But if he didn't become Black Panther, but he became Star-Lord instead. So, which was a very interesting story. Secret Invasion is coming out early in 2023 on TV. This is live action featuring S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Skrulls, the Shape Changers. And in comic book, Secret Invasion was the Skrulls coming to Earth to try to take over, and them imitating like heroes and other people that would make them powerful. So that was Secret Invasion. Echo is from the Hawkeye.
Now, that looked like that was bringing back because I can't find it now, and I apologize because I did have a graphic for it that featured oh God, what's his name? Why am I blacking out on his name? But the eye patch.
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson, yes. Okay, because that is live action, not animated.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's live
Nick
action.
Fury.
So
Nick
live
Fury.
action.
Oh my gosh, old age
Nick
is
Fury.
horrible.
Nick
Okay,
Fury.
go ahead.
Echo is from the Hawkeye show. That's going to be live action. That's going to be a show in mid 2000. Loki season 2 is what a lot of people are looking forward to. The last time we saw Loki, was at the end of Loki season 1, and we saw Kang. And there was a different version of Loki. There's a female version of Loki and a male version. And Loki said, if you kill me, more things are going to happen. And the female version killed him. So now we have the unwrapping of everything that's going to happen in phase 5 and probably phase 6. Ironheart is going to be a TV show. Ironheart we last saw in Wakanda Forever. She's Riri Williams is a very smart young lady. She's a genius level young lady, and she's going to be as a Loki 2 picture.
I'm sorry, I'm behind.
Yeah, and Ironheart is from that, and apparently she's going to make herself another armor, or either get the one back from Wakanda. That's going to be a TV series. So, also, there's going to be X-Men 97. Which is from 1997. They're going to do the old animated X-Men TV show again, which is great.
Oh, wait. So X-Men 97 is going to be animated? Because I worry, because, I get shudders when you start putting years in things, because I think of that Wonder Woman 84 thing, and that did not work out so well.
No.
I'm sorry. I jumped to DC. I know Marvel.
And I'm getting the Marvel Zombies is towards the end. And then we have Agatha Coming to Chaos. That's going to be a TV show in late 23, early 24. Agatha Harkins was from Vision Scarlet Witch, and we're going to get her in the show.
Oh,
which is
Scarlet Witch
great.
is back. Yes, I love.
I don't know. Well, wait a minute. We don't know if the Scarlet. I guess the Scarlet Witch is going to be on there, but we don't. Let's not get our hopes up because she did die. Apparently, quote unquote, with quotes around it, she supposed to had died in.
Evidently in the Marvel
Dead
universe,
is not dead. Yeah, dead is not dead.
In the MCU, there is no such thing as death. It's like, oh wait.
And then you have.
Can I ask a question? Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, that was a different actress. Okay, who played Aquaman's mother? I thought that was Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, that was not Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, why am I? Okay, because I'm like, wait, can she?
That was
be
no,
Pfeiffer?
that was I just was watching her and I was just watching her and just go with it with Adam Sandler. That was she's been married to Tom Cruise.
Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Nicole
Kidman
Kidman.
was in Just Go With It. Oh yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
Dave Matthews'
Devlin.
wife. Okay,
Devlin.
I'm sorry,
Devlin.
Devlin.
Take it to Devlin. I'm taking it to Devlin.
Why? Okay, don't take us down that tangent.
Yes, yeah. Okay,
All right,
so
just
we got
back
Daredevil
to
Born
MCU.
Again. That's also coming out in early 24.
Okay, wait.
Daredevil Born
what's
Again.
coming
We
out?
have Charlie Cox. Daredevil Born Again. We have Charlie Cox reprising his role from the Marvel Netflix series and coming on to be Daredevil. He was already seen in She-Hulk TV series as Daredevil, Charlie Cox, and he was already seen in Spider-Man as Matt Murdock. When he caught the rock and they were like, how'd you do that? And you're a blind man. He's like, he blew it off as something stupid and everybody accepted it, which that's like Superman wearing glasses and saying he's Clark Kent. I don't get it. You see a blind man catch a brick and you're not, dude, you got powers. Like, what are you doing? Anyway,
we're in tune. But okay, what else is coming?
So then next you have
I'm sorry, Kenny. Is Daredevil is going to be a TV series, and I'm assuming that all of these will be available on Disney Plus because they own the franchise. So if you don't have Disney Plus, then you're up a creek.
Here's the thing, though, because they're bringing Daredevil from the Marvel Netflix series, a lot of people are hoping they bring back Luke Cage. And a lot of people hoping that they bring back Jessica Jones. Nobody really wants to see Iron Fist again because he sucked. And that the Iron Fist thing they did on everything. And then a lot of people want to see the Punisher come back also because he was awesome in that role. And then on TV next you have Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is an animated series. And then, as Ed was saying, after that, you have Marvel Zombies.
Now that is right up Ed's alley. If it's horror, if it's zombies.
Now they had
is there a zombie Wolverine? Is that what that is?
Yes. I don't know how because he can't die really, but
But wait, Logan. What do you mean he can't die?
I hated the movie Logan.
I love the movie Logan.
Whoever wrote the movie Logan should be like pistol whipped. I don't know.
Okay.
That is not how you kill Wolverine.
All right. You're too much of a comic book purist.
Yes.
Oh, yes, Steve. That movie is called Just Go With It. It is hysterical. It's one of...
That's not Dave Matthews in that movie.
It is Dave Matthews. He plays
the guy who plays the husband is Dave Matthews?
Yeah, of the Dave Matthews Band.
I thought that was a...
It's Dave Matthews. He is funny AF. I'm sorry.
He's funny.
He is hysterical.
Yeah, that's just go. I love Just Go With It. Oh, boo boo. Don't be mad, boo boo. Who's the tiebreaker? What's the tiebreaker? What's the tiebreaker?
Uh, um, now, would you stop unleashing your inner Adam Sandler on us, please? No,
Hold on, I gotta say
Ed
one
is
more thing.
saying that Marvel Zombies are great books,
Yeah.
and
I never got into the zombie thing. I'm not
Mhm.
into the zombie thing. I never read the Marvel zombie thing. I don't know if I never seen the point in it. I thought it was just not a fad. Some things they do in comic books, they take something and they run with it.
Mhm.
And when they were supposed to stop at the finish line, they keep running for some reason. They're like Forrest Gump and just keep
It's
going.
not for some reason, it's for the money.
I
Not
know, but
funny.
see, sometimes they do like Forrest Gump and they just keep running across America with things that you should stop running for. Like you run things like for a time, the Wolverine character in comic books was in like 5 different books at once.
Mhm.
He belonged to like 4 different teams. And in one
Because of
event,
popularity.
he was part of the Avengers at one point, and they said, "How are you a part of so many different teams?" And Wolverine goes, that's my superpower." Like that's why he kind of made a tongue in cheek. They kind of made a tongue in cheek joke
Yeah, I'm
that
a team player.
yeah, no, they kind of made a tongue in cheek joke that when you go to the comic store on a monthly basis, every week you see Wolverine in something, either X-Men book, his own book, another book, an Avengers book. There's Wolverine all over the place, just like DC did it with Lobo. Like one time you saw Lobo everywhere, So it's Deadpool. You can see him everywhere. So sometimes you take a character and they throw him with the Marvel Zombies or something that they did once or twice. I think it originally did show in the What If, and they just ran it everywhere. And I never really got into the zombie books, but that's going to be next year in 2024. That's going to be an animated special. I'm sure we will probably see the Marvel Zombies again in What If season 2 because they had Marvel
Zombies. I imagine that's going to be a comic book or animated.
That's going to be animated
Because the expense of actually filming that would probably be ridiculous with all the special effects that they would need.
Now, here's the thing, too. Here's the expense on the animated series. A lot of animated series that you're going to see in Marvel, sometimes they're going to have other actors come in and do the voices. But in some cases, you actually have the actors from the live action movies coming to the voices. Chadwick Boseman did the voice for his character T'Challa in
the animated
series that showed last year. They already recorded his vocals for that before he passed away.
Oh wow!
So you actually had his voice.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, so that's phase 5, and one day in a couple months we're going to run down all the different phases. Phase 1.
Yeah, we got to do all the phases because
5, and I think and at the end of phase 6, I think that's when in phase 6 is when you're going to have the final war of Avengers versus Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also going to have the Fantastic Four show up at some point in phase 6. I knew.
Now with the Fantastic Four, are we getting some new actors? Do you think?
Yes,
or
definitely.
I know there was there was an original, or there was a Fantastic Four movie, and then I think Michael Chiklis is the Jessica Alba Michael Chiklis. I actually like that movie. Now the second movie, the Silver Surfer one, didn't do well at all, really tanked. But then I think they came out with a different group of young actors for the Fantastic Four.
And that stunk. That movie stunk.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that movie, it was horrible. Don't even try to see it.
I'm not going to put it on.
They've actually been 4 fantastic movies made.
Okay.
There was the one with Michael Chiklis
and
Jessica Alba. There's those 2. And there was the one with Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch that really was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1994, there was a Fantastic Four movie that was made.
Okay.
But it was so bad they never put it out.
Oh, wow. Who was
It's
in
on.
it? Do we know?
I think Ed, you might have seen some videos in the Comic Cons. I think they had some of them on video in Comic Con, but it was never released in Blockbuster or anything like that for you to see.
Because it
It
was
was
that
never
bad.
shown. It was never shown in any theater or anything or any cable channel for you to see.
Wow.
It was that bad.
It's
In actuality, back in those days, back in
Mhm.
the late 90s, there was a Justice League movie
Okay.
that was really bad, and they never put it out. But if you go to YouTube, you can YouTube it, and you can see like 5 minutes at like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes at a time of this movie. I watched some of this Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
No, don't do it. Well, actually, Justice League takes us into the DCU. Now, we have been living here in the Marvel Universe, talking about Phase 5, because we just this week watched Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantum Mania. And I give it, what did I say, a 7.5?
You gave it I gave it 8.5. I'm gonna stick by 8.5. I like
Kenny
the
gave it
action.
an
The
8.5.
ant came up and fought.
I say 7.
Like the fighting scenes are great. The fighting scenes are greatness. The choreography of the fighting scenes.
Mhm.
You didn't like that?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't much to write home about. I don't know. I guess, and again, maybe because I've been in the MCU for a while.
What's something to write home about?
We've seen so much. I mean, how much more can we do? I mean,
Yeah, well, that's another thing too.
from Black Panther to
that's another
Infinity
thing,
to
too, because
Endgame. I mean, how much more fighting can you have? What?
Well, they've been doing comic books since the 40s, so since the 30s actually. So yeah, you can have a lot of fighting.
Okay.
You fight for almost 90 years in comic books, so there's so many different stories that you could tell in comic books.
But it's all the same story. It's good versus evil, and good always wins, or so you think good wins. Because there's always a little twist at the end because evil keeps coming back. And
like in Phase 6, I think one of my favorite
Evil's
characters
always
is
like,
coming.
"Oh, hold my beer." No, go ahead.
I think one of my favorite characters is coming in Phase 6, which is Wonder Man in Marvel. And Wonder Man is
Wonder Man in Marvel.
There's a Wonder Man in Marvel, and there's a Wonder Woman in DC, but there's a Wonder Man in Marvel.
Okay.
You know, and Marvel is the reason that Shazam is Shazam, because originally Shazam was Captain Marvel.
Oh, wait.
But
Shazam. Isn't Shazam DC?
Yeah, Shazam is DC, but it used to be called Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
And DC retained the rights to them, but then Marvel created a character called Captain Marvel. So you couldn't have two Captain Marvels, so DC had to change it to Shazam.
Ah, gotcha.
You know, so it's one of them things where there's articles about it. It's just you know, because we're going to be talking about that next Shazam, and the Captain Marvel character has like a really, you know, there's a character from the comic books in Captain Marvel where he was so offensive that school kids wrote into the comic book publisher, and this comic book character is never seen again anywhere.
So school kids got him banned.
School kids got, well, a lot of people were school kids. I think it was a group of school kids either in the Philadelphia area or New York area wrote in. And I'm talking about a mix of school kids, not just black kids, but white kids in school. Because his character was named Steamboat, and he was very offensive. And he was supposed to be a black man, but the way they made him, his dialect, and the way they made him look was very offensive, even in the 40s. Now, if you offend people in the 40s, you did some offensive stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did some stuff. Well, look at this.
Yes.
Steve, I had no idea there was a Wonder Man.
Yes.
Simon Williams. I can't believe it. People, yes, we are learning things on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. We are teaching you.
Wonder Man is Simon Williams, and I'm gonna say something. If you have Disney Plus, and if you watch the Avengers cartoons, there's a couple of Avengers cartoons, but if Wonder Man shows up in the one back from the 90s, 99, and there's another Avengers cartoon. I think it's between 2012 or something like that in that area. And Wonder Man shows up in that one. They show the creation of how Wonder Man came about and whatnot. So Wonder Man started off as a villain and becomes a guy, and he is an actor slash stuntman. So he turns to an actor slash stuntman. So yeah, Wonder Man is I like Wonder Man as a character. And matter of fact, one of his when I first was introduced to Wonder Man, he was in the Avengers, and he kind of did a buddy thing with an X-Men character named the Beast, because the Beast was an Avenger and Wonder Man was an Avenger, and they were buddies and they hung out all the time. And when they fought villains and everything, they would joke around a lot with each other as they fought, and it was a nice camaraderie. And I think they did a team up in recent comic books, and I have it somewhere in here, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But yes, Wonder Man is a very powerful character. He's made of ionic energy. His real name is Simon Williams, and his brother is a villain called the Grim Reaper.
Now, the Grim Reaper I've heard about, but we will be talking all things DC next week. And in a future show, we're going to break down the phases of the MCU, because now that we're in phase 5, I feel like I missed phase 1 through 4. Though I've seen them all. I just need them broken down for me. I need a phase to phase map. I need a map. A phase.
But have you seen Loki yet?
I have not watched Loki, and I don't know why I'm struggling with it.
I'm telling you, Loki season 1, you're gonna love it.
All right, and I should, because I know I love WandaVision so much that, and I know the shows are different, but I didn't. Let's say I love the journey, and that's because I waited until it was all over. Like, I can't do the week to week thing, because I ain't nobody got time for that. I need to wait for it. It's all done, and I just want to binge it. So
I like
and then I binged WandaVision and absolutely loved it. I don't know whether I would have enjoyed it as much if I had to watch and wait week to week for it, because I'm not about that life anymore.
Well, Loki's coming out.
Loki's streaming. I can't do it. I need it all at once.
Loki season 2 is coming out in the very near future in 2023. So you need to binge Loki season 1. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
Okay. All right.
It's not like I'm telling you to binge Moon Knight. Moon Knight might disappoint you. But Loki season 1.
I'm putting that on my list.
Put that on your list. See, we had nothing to add to my list. See, put that
nothing
on your list.
to add to your list this week. You're all up. You're current, and you have your superhero movies, your Marvel universe down.
And even when we went
map together,
even sidetracked to an Adam Sandler movie, I knew what I was talking about. Talk about that slop hole one more time, and I walk. Mix that slop hole again, and I walk.
Oh yeah, that I do. That's probably my second favorite Adam Sandler movie. The first one has to be Big Daddy. Tell me you've seen Big Daddy. I've
seen Big Daddy. I was impressed with Big Daddy.
Scuba Steve. Oh, I love Big Daddy.
You know what?
That's
the earlier Adams. We should do an Adam Sandler movie show.
An Adam Sandler movie show? I don't think I've seen enough of them.
I haven't seen enough of them, because you know what? The early ones, they look too stupid for me.
Yeah, I couldn't stomach the early.
Jack and Jill.
Later ones,
Jack and Jill.
In English.
I've never seen Wedding Singer.
Just Go With It. 50 First Dates.
Yeah, I like the later stuff, like Just Go With It, Blended, I don't like 51st Dates.
Well, see, I like him and Drew Barrymore together. I think they have a nice chemistry. I think his chemistry is better with Jennifer Aniston, quite frankly. But
Well, they have
yeah.
another murder mystery coming on Netflix,
Okay, I might have to check that
which
out.
is great. Did you see
I
the
missed
first
the
murder
la-
mystery?
I didn't see the first one, and I missed
Oh,
it. And I
see that?
wanted
That's
to
good.
see it because there were characters from the Howard Stern show that was supposed to be in there. I think was it Ronnie the limo driver has like a big line or one line in it, and I wanted to watch that. So I need to watch it. I'm sort
I
of
think
behind in my streaming.
I do think him and Jennifer Aniston make a great. Actually, he's good with Drew Barrymore too.
Yeah,
He's
I
really good
think
with Drew
yeah,
Barrymore
I think
too. But I think him and Jennifer. It's a tie between who do you guys think would be better for Adam Sandler to co-star, Drew Barrymore or Jennifer Aniston?
or is there somebody he has not co-starred with that he probably should? We probably could make or break his career right now and give him like the key of who he should
You know
co-star
who
with.
might be good? You know who might be good for him to co-star with?
Who?
You know who might be good for him to co-star with? Who's that woman? She was in
Who's that
she was in
woman?
51st Dates.
Okay.
No. She was in 40-year-old version. She was
Okay.
in 40-year-old version.
I can't think
And
of
she was
the
the woman
woman.
that threw up on Steve Carell at the beginning.
Oh, and I'm seeing it in my head, but I can't think of the
Yeah.
actor's name. Um
He was in a movie with Cameron Diaz too. About the other woman with Cameron Diaz. What is her name? She was in the other one with Cameron Diaz. She was in 40-year-old version. I think she was in This Is 40 with Paul Rudd.
Not Mindy Kaling. Leslie
Is that
Mann?
her? Not Mindy Kaling. Not Mindy Kaling. No, not her.
Leslie Mann
Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann.
or
It's got it right here.
Elizabeth
Leslie
Banks.
Mann.
Leslie Mann.
No, not
Oh,
Elizabeth Banks. Leslie Mann.
that's the director's wife. The guy who directed it. I can't think of his name right now. Not Judd Apatow. That's his wife.
Oh, Leslie Mann is his wife?
Leslie Mann is his wife because she
Okay.
was in the 40-year-old virgin and what other movie he did? Like a couple of his movies she's been in. She was in Scuba Steve. She was in Big Daddy.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was in Big Daddy because oh God, who was she married to in the movie? Because Adam Sandler kept making fun of her because she worked at Hooters, and they were like at each other's throat all the time. But yes, Leslie Mann is funny.
Yeah, I think she would make a good pairing
Hmm.
with Adam Sandler. And Elizabeth Banks probably would too. But
Elizabeth
Elizabeth Banks is going more into sophisticated roles, I think.
Yeah, Leslie Mann. She was in 17 again, a 40-year-old virgin. Oh, I didn't know she was
That's
in
right. She was in
freaking-
17 again. I love 17 again. She was great in that.
Yeah, she was in 17 again.
She was great
But
in that.
she did the Cable Guy as well. And Big Daddy. Yeah, she was in Big Daddy. That's the
Yeah.
same.
So
Leslie Mann.
yeah, we should
She's
do
awesome.
we should do an Adam Sandler movie show. And because Grown Ups was great, I thought. I thought Grown Ups 1 and
I
2
didn't
were
see
great.
Grown Ups 2. I'm trying to think.
It
I
was
didn't
good.
see
It was
Grown Ups
good.
2. I saw Grown Ups 1 and I thought that was good.
It was good. A lot of it was a lot of stars coming through, so it was good. It was pretty good.
And yeah, thanks
Um,
Ed, for Leslie Mann. And yes, you're right. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, they were on a roll too as like a couple. And maybe
Yes.
that's a good another we can do like some classic couples.
the best classic movie couples. Because
Oh,
even
yeah.
though they did one movie together, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman, that's the most classic couple ever.
Classic movie couples it is.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. There you go.
Enough said.
Stop
Play it again,
the
Sam.
presses.
Stop the
The
presses.
conversation is over. The greatest
Speaking of
movie
stopping
couple
the
of all
presses.
time.
Speaking of stopping the
The greatest
presses,
movie couple of
hey,
all time.
we are
right there.
over 15 minutes. We're over the line. So we're going to stop
Yeah,
the
we're
presses
over. We're way over. Well, we're
Yes,
probably
because
over.
we'll be
Yeah.
back next
So
week.
we did the Marvel movie. Anybody has any questions? We're gonna have a look. I don't know how we can do this, but we're gonna have this hooked up next week so people can call in. I'm gonna make this work.
Okay. And I know I used to do the phone because you can hook the phone up Bluetooth on that Rodecaster Pro. My phone was hooked up Bluetooth through that old Rodecaster Pro. I have yet to figure out. I don't think I've hooked up my phone Bluetooth on the new Rodecaster Pro. I'm actually missing the
I
old
went and got the
Rodecaster
cords.
Pro. I kind of want it back, but
I went and got the cords to. I went and got the cords to connect my phone to it.
okay. You can't connect via Bluetooth. Your phone doesn't have Bluetooth.
I didn't think I could, but yeah.
Yes, you
I see
can
you
because
can.
that's how I connected my phone via Bluetooth, and I'm sure I can do it with the Rodecaster too. But I haven't played with that one as much. I'm so used to my old one. I kind of want my old one back.
I went out and bought a case for this one, so I wouldn't have to carry around the box all the time. I went out and bought a case and everything, man.
I guess I don't get it back. All right.
No, man.
I'm saying.
married to this thing, man. I'm doing podcast. I'm buying equipment for it and everything. I bought another mic for it. I got to go out and get some 1/4 inches for it for my headphones. I mean, I'm feeling some kind of way.
I want my Rodecaster one back. Anyway, I need to rearrange my studio anyway. I'm using part of the basement, but it's so messy that I need to clear it out and kind of start over. I might actually take this small room and
I'm using my bedroom
make that my studio space, so that way I could treat the walls and just really treat it like a studio. But in any case, we will be back next Saturday at 8:30 to 9:30, and we're sticking with it because this going over time is just crazy. Yeah, because there's some good see now, Steve, you're going to take us down a rabbit hole because there's some like duos that work together too, like just like either female or male that have made.
Well, you know what? Those are two different. You know the comedy duels and the other one we mentioned earlier. Those are two different shows.
Okay. Well, even though it's not comedy, but just like classics, because I'm in my head I'm thinking about Buck and the Preacher and oh God, what's the other one? Sundance Kid, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Like there's just some great pairings and okay, so I'm writing down the ideas as they come to us.
Some like it's hot. Some like it hot.
Some like
Tony
hot.
Curtis
Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon, yes.
Anyway,
and of course,
lots of great stuff to talk about, especially when it comes to pop culture. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up if you're watching us on Twitch. Thanks for being here because we've been streaming to Twitch the last couple weeks, and we don't always do that. On our page on Facebook, Kathy and Kenny Explore Pop Culture. We are on YouTube at K-Walk Comedy. If you're on YouTube, consider subscribing, hitting the bell notification. That way you get a little pop-up to let you know when we are talking pop culture, which I'll give you a hint. Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're here, and we hope to see you here next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Peace.
God bless us all and keep living. Peace.
We'll see ya.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.
Okay. Wait a minute.
We can still hear you.
You can still hear me?
We're out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.